is a lot to think about when building a home. You have builder reputation, builder quality, how easy is their process, and more importantly, how easy are they to work with? Because trust me, there are some builders that are much easier to work with than others. Before I jump into the worst rated home builders, I just want to note that anywhere you build, there are 3 tiers of production builders, and then the 4th tier is a custom home builder, which is completely different than a production builder. Tier number 1, this is what I like to call entry-level builders. The key for these builders is affordability, and I know in this market it doesn't feel like anything is affordable, but these builders try to maximize your budget. So at this level, you'll typically see minimal options, fewer upgrades, smaller lots. In Houston, these homes typically start in the 300s as of early 2023. Tier number 2 are move-up builders. These builders typically range in the 400s to 500s in the Houston area. They have better finishes, more square footage, an upgrade package, and a variety in lot sizes compared to Tier 1. They will also start to have other home features like game and media rooms. Tier number 3 is where you really start to see a change in the home and the upgrades. In this tier, you can really check off a lot of boxes in your dream home without having to jump over to a custom home builder. In this tier, you have a lot of floor plan customization options. You can usually have a full design center consultation where you are able to pick all the interior design selections for your home, and you have a wide variety of lots and neighborhoods to choose from. These homes easily start in the 600s to 900s in the Houston area. And lastly is tier number 4, which is custom home builders. These are entirely different than production builders. Typically, you will purchase a lot and then find an architect and a designer to help you build the home on your lot. So let's talk about those entry-level tier 1 builders first. Most common of these builders in the Houston area are Lennar, Legend Homes, KB Homes, Kalina Homes, Adams, and Long Lake, and so on. We have a ton of builders here in the Houston area. The worst ranked, according to consumeraffairs.com, is Lennar Homes. Lennar scored a 1 out of 5 on consumeraffairs.com, and I don't disagree with a majority of the reviews. A majority of the reviews are people saying they have experienced nothing but issues with the home post-build construction. We are talking mechanical and structural issues, not cosmetic finishes. Now, we do want an affordable house, but we should still have the expectation that the house is functioning and working post-construction. In the last few years, a few of my buyers have expressed that the Lennar quality seems to be going down more and more. I had one lady tell me that she went to her friend's house that was a Lennar, and her little boy leaned on the finished wall and the drywall completely broke through. That is pretty concerning. On the other hand, I've also had a buyer who could only afford a Lennar home in the neighborhood she needed to be in, as well as the square footage she needed, and she ended up having a great experience. The construction manager walked the house with her and made sure she was completely satisfied with the end product that she was getting. So also remember, even with consumer affair ratings, it really does come down to the community, the construction manager, and the sales rep. So make sure you interview all these people and take a realtor with you before deciding on a home builder. Now, as we are going through these tiers of builders, especially tier 1 and tier 2 builders, these mass production builders use tradesmen and not craftsmen. So if you are coming from a higher cost area and you are used to higher quality standards from the frame to electrical and plumbing and just the overall experience, these builders really just are production builders at the end of the day. Don't get me wrong, you are still going to have a beautiful and energy efficient home. Just have the expectation and mindset when you build a production home, you will have to do upgrades and maintenance over time. The tier 2 builders in Houston are builders like Chesmar, Pulte, Gehan, Empire, MI, Beazer, and Castle Rock. Now, the worst rated builder of this tier, according to consumers.com, is Beazer Homes. A majority of the reviews in Texas were specifically writing about the quality of the craftsmanship as well as the numerous delays in the build process. Not gonna lie, delays in home builds have been the norm now since 2020. Even though it's nearly 3 years later and the market is slowing, home builders are still facing supply chain issues, whether it be their vendors are going out of business or the prices of the items are surging so much that it is no longer cost effective for the builder to use. It's just a continuous messy cycle that builders have not quite figured out yet. Now, some of the highest tier production builders in the Houston area. Some of these include Perry Homes, Highland Homes, David Weekley, Newmark, TriPoint, and Coventry, to name a few. You can expect that you're going to have a higher level build as well as a higher level of service throughout the entire process. Now, these builders will by far have the most customization options for you to choose from, but at the end of the day, they are still production home builders and not custom home builders. The worst rated builder on Consumer Affairs was Perry Homes, scoring a 2 out of 5. And really, I was pretty surprised by that because Perry Homes is one of my top choices. It's the builder of my home. And if I were to build another home, Perry would definitely be one of my top choices. But after reflecting on some of my transactions the last couple of years with Perry Homes, I could also see where this rating is coming from. Out of all of the tier 3 builders I've worked with, I have experienced the most extreme delays with Perry Homes, and I noticed a lot of reviews sharing the same thing. Although it is very frustrating to put buyers through such extreme delays, I also witnessed Perry Homes try to make it better for the buyer by adding on a lot of incentives for the buyer during that stressful time. I think it is really important for builders to set realistic timelines as well as more information about what the build process is actually like. Despite if they were a quality builder or not, a lot of buyers are unfamiliar with the construction process and can get pretty shocked along the way and question the builder's quality based on the construction process. Let me tell you, the build process is messy, and it doesn't matter what tier of builder you're using. If you walk your construction site during any phase of construction, you're going to see a lot of questionable things. Usually mistakes happen, material gets damaged or lost, tradesmen are careless when they're carrying it around the house, and the builder knows this and budgets for it. And typically they're not going to fix it until the last 2 weeks because they don't want to keep fixing these things over and over again. If you have recently built with a Houston builder or are planning to build, please share your story down below. I would love to hear it, and I'm sure other people who are thinking about buying would love to hear as well. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.